Mm, it's interesting. So one interesting question here is like the idea of we'll get to Thomas and Peter hopefully in a minute, but like to what extent did like non-Christian scribes and scholars trust the earliest texts? Like we'd assume that like the Christians trust them, but like what were the non-Christians thinking about like the early texts of like the Gospels and such?
Oh, and nobody, excuse me, nobody really debated the dates of the Gospels. You know, the critics, the non-Christian critics of Christianity, like Celsus, they knew the Gospels were written in the first century. They didn't even doubt the general reliability and truthfulness of the Gospels. What they disputed, like Celsus, Celsus is writing 160 to 170, somewhere in there. And what Celsus is responding to is the idea that, well, because Jesus performed miracles, because he walked on water, because his teaching was excellent, Celsus say, yeah, okay, maybe he performed a few miracles, maybe he was a good teacher, but that doesn't make him the Son of God, doesn't make him the Savior. And so Celsus didn't dispute the general truthfulness. I'm sure he did dispute the truthfulness of a few stories, but the general truthfulness of the Gospels, he didn't dispute. He didn't say, Matthew didn't write Matthew, or the Gospels weren't as early as we think, or they weren't written in the first century. He didn't say that stuff. He ignored the Gospel of Thomas. He probably didn't even know Thomas existed when he did his writing, because Thomas probably didn't exist yet. But Celsus just simply disagreed with the Christian conclusions and the Christian inferences, and Celsus was skeptical about the resurrection. He seems open to the possibility that there was a resurrection, but I don't know. I think Celsus just says, that's not enough to claim to be God. That's not quite enough to claim that you're the Son of God and Savior just because you performed a few miracles. That's the interesting thing. But this other stuff, when the Gospels were written or who wrote them, I don't think Celsus, as a skeptic, questioned any of that.